If you're questioning whether your husband loves you or not, there's a good chance he's not engaging in these 4 behaviors right now. Now, before I explain these 4 behaviors, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, click on that bell notification as well. So every week you get access to my latest videos where I talk you through a little bit more about male psychology, understanding how to go about improving the quality of your marriage, and really how to go about healing from the inside so that you can completely transform not only your marriage but your whole life. Now, after working with hundreds of women over the last 10 years, there are patterns that are extremely common when it comes to high quality marriages, and especially when a man deeply loves his woman. Now, the first behavior that they will often engage in, complete transparency and integrity within their life. A lot of guys who don't really feel like that person is the right person for them, or they don't have that deep, profound love for that individual, will often have questions running through their mind. They're not sure if this is the right person for them. They start to potentially get tempted externally, or they might want to spend all their time doing other things in their life and almost having the wife as sort of an afterthought from other aspects of their life, work, extracurricular activities, sports, etc. So if he's deeply in love with you in this situation, then there's going to be complete transparency and complete integrity in their life. They're not going to be shy in terms of sharing the things that they want to share. They're not going to hide certain things from you. They're going to be completely open about where they are, what they're up to, and so on. But the beauty of it is that when there is a genuine love there, that then creates a sense of fulfillment within the wife, and so she has this complete sense of trust over him as well. So you have this beautiful dynamic going where both parties have complete trust for each other, complete love for each other, and then subsequently there is an increased level of freedom. Both parties are able to engage in whatever it is that they want to do individually, but they also want to spend time with each other as well. But there is complete transparency. There's no hiding of phones, hiding of messages, being a little bit sheepish about what they're doing after work and all of that stuff. It's complete openness. I always say, even with me and my wife, there's nothing we don't know about each other. We're happy to look on each other's phones if we want to, but we don't need to because there is complete trust. Relationships need solid foundations, and integrity is one of those really important foundations. And I honestly believe that when a man is deeply in love with his woman, there is complete transparency and complete integrity, and you will just know because he's not going to hide things from you. Now, following on from this, the second thing you'll often see when a man is deeply in love with you is just, as basic as it sounds, more time. He's going to want to spend more time with you. So often what happens, if someone's not really in love with you, they're going to find excuses to go off and do other things. I remember in a past relationship where I wasn't deeply in love with that woman, and unfortunately what I was finding myself doing in my own mind, because I was in such a dark space mentally, I ended up wanting to go and hang out with my friends all the time, or I'd go off and play golf by myself, or I'd be immersed in projects around the house and stuff like that. Whatever it took to mean that I didn't have to spend time with that individual. And that's a really uncomfortable thing to say, but I think it's really important to be open and honest about all of this. And when you are actually in a relationship where the man genuinely loves you, he is going to want to spend time with you. He's not going to always want to hang out with his buddies all the time, or have a beer, or always watch sports all the time. It is such a beautiful thing, because the beauty is that when it comes to your spouse, you actually enjoy spending time with them more than you do with the other people in your life. And that's a magnificent experience. It's an absolute killer experience when you have that in your life. But if you don't have that love for that person, you'd rather go off and do other things. But for a lot of men, they often feel constrained in the relationship. That then affects their perception of the individual, because they feel like that person has created that constraint in their life. And so what do? They go off and, hang out with their buddies or go and do other things in their life rather than actually spending time with their spouse. So more time and more quality time is a really beautiful indication of a man that genuinely loves you. Another pattern that men often engage in when they deeply love their woman is that the patterns of avoidance tend to disappear. In a marriage, when there are issues, Those issues are there to be dealt with. What happens though? When there is pain involved, most human beings tend to avoid. Rather than dealing with short-term pain, individuals will avoid and then deal with it long-term. The only problem is, it always ends up being in the short-term that they never face, so that there is no real long-term because problems continue to stack and stack and stack in the moment. The issue is, in the long run, they never get resolved. But when a man deeply loves you, what he will do is he will want to address those problems. He will want to address them in a classy way. And even if you're finding that the emotions are getting the better of you or you're just having a down day, he's not going to just run away from it because it's awkward. He's going to want to actually understand and learn about you and not be blindsided by anything that you say, not be affected by some of the things that might be a little bit difficult to hear. He will want to resolve those problems. He will want to address them. And not just for the sake of it, but because he's genuinely committed to creating something extraordinary with you. And that is such a beautiful thing. When a man gets to a place where he stops avoiding problems and starts confronting them, no different to when a man is dealing with problems in a business, or if he's dealing with challenges in his work, or if he's dealing with challenges in sports or whatever. When a man is faced with problems, he wants to resolve it. But often in relationships, when problems arise, men want to run. And they want to run because they're problems they don't feel like they know how to fix. They don't know how to resolve it. So when someone doesn't know how to resolve it, what do people do? They run. So when a man genuinely loves his woman, he will confront those problems. He will face them head on. And he'll be like, look, honey, I know you're going through a really difficult time. I love you. I care for you. And I want to help you work through this. There is nothing that gives me greater happiness in my life than being with you. So let's work through this together. I promise you I will be there for you till the end of time. I am here to support you every step of the way. Or something along those lines. He's going to want to be there for you. And that is the greatest gift that he can give you, knowing that he is your rock, no matter what. And finally, doubts become a thing of the past. When a man deeply loves his woman, he just knows that this woman is there for the rest of his life. Period. There's no questions, there's no uncertainty, there's no doubts. There is just a deep, profound sense of knowing on the inside. Now, obviously I'm talking about something that's somewhat intangible. It's a thought that often is in the mind, but the actions and the words will back that up as well. You're not going to see a man sort of always immersed in other things. He's going to be committed to you. He's going to want to learn more about you. He's going to want to get to know you. He's going to want to spend more time with you. But at the deepest level, he's never going to question it. And the thing is that when a man starts to question a relationship, he's going to fall into some of those patterns that I've talked about previously around avoidance. But when a man deeply loves his woman, he's going to want to face some of those problems head on. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions to the rule. If this is happening over and over and over, and there are problems day after day after day, there are going to be times where a man's going to want to, go and escape for a little bit, but that doesn't mean he's not going to come back and actually be committed to try and figure it out and try and work it out with you, trying to be there as your rock and be there as your support structure. And I can tell you now from my own experience, I have the most incredible marriage, and I'm very blessed to have that. And I can honestly tell you this from the bottom of my heart, that not once have I ever questioned our marriage. Have I ever questioned whether this is the right person for me or whether it's going to last? I've never questioned it one bit, because I know what the complete opposite is. I know what it's like to be in a relationship which isn't going well and it hasn't gone well and so on. And it's an uncomfortable feeling, and you're always questioning it. You find yourself going, oh geez, is this the right person for me? I'm not sure I don't know what to do. Shall I walk away? I'm scared. I'm not sure how to handle it, and so on. When we deeply love another person, we have no doubts. There are no doubts, because you just know 100% that that person is the right person for you. Now, I want to be clear with you, with all of these things that I've talked about, there are exceptions to the rule. There are nuances with all of these respective components as well. But what we're looking for is patterns. And if you're seeing these behaviors, you've got a pretty good indication this man is deeply in love with you. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions at all or comments, make sure you write them below and I'll make sure I respond to every single one of you. And look, if you're in a position where you're questioning whether your husband loves you, if you're not sure what to do and not sure how to move forward on this journey, and you're needing a little bit of extra support, then what I'd encourage you to do is in the description section below, you will see a link to my free masterclass where you can access a beautiful training that I put together where I talk you through how my client Sarah was able to save her marriage in less than 60 days. She's an amazing woman, has created some remarkable transformations in her life. So make sure you register below and I look forward to seeing you in the masterclass. If you want to learn how your husband really wants you to talk to him, click this video above. Thank you so much. God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.